going today, guys? This is Dan with Rapway Homestead, and today I'm going to be showing you how to change oil and do the other maintenance items required on your 3500 watt Predator generator. Let's get started. Alright, so some of the items that you're going to need to do the oil change and the other maintenance items are going to be 1 quart of 10W30 oil. I like to use a Mobil 1 full synthetic. You don't have to run full synthetic, but I prefer to in all my equipment. I like to use a 10W30 in the summer months and a 5W30 in the winter months, anything below about that 40-degree mark. You're also going to need a flathead screwdriver to access the oil cover on the side, and an 8mm socket with a nut driver. I prefer to use a socket with a nut driver. You can use a Phillips, but it's just easier to use the 8mm nut driver. You're also going to need a funnel. This is the funnel that was provided by Predator when I purchased this machine new. If you did not receive this funnel, any funnel will work, but this one works well. You're also going to need a can of brake cleaner or some other form of solvent to clean out the spark arrestor. I'll be showing you how to do that. And you're also just going to need a few other basic items like a drain pan to catch the oil and a set of shop rags to wipe your hands and check oil and that sort of thing. So without further ado, let's get into this thing. So the first thing you're going to need to do is open up this access panel right here. Now, you would think that you would turn it the loosen direction to open it. You actually turn it clockwise, it would be, and that actually undoes the latch. So that's kind of backwards from what you would think. Take that panel and go ahead and set it off to the side. The next thing you're going to want to do is there is a oil drain hose inside of here. And I can kind of get you a closer look at that. So this is that oil drain hose that goes in the bottom of the engine. I should note too, before you start changing oil on this, you want to let the engine run and warm up. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I had it outside running. 15-20 minutes is enough. So that guy just kind of comes out of the side of the generator. It's got this yellow cap on it with a little oil drain symbol. All right, now from here, what I like to do once you have that out, if you're able to do it up on a workbench, I actually slide it off so these tires rest on the side. That helps the generator sit at that angle and allow the oil to drain more freely. From there, go ahead and loosen this cap. It just is a quarter turn or a half turn cap, and go ahead and pull that off, and your oil will go ahead and drain. Now during this process, I like to kind of hold it down just to let it drain a little bit easier. So we'll go ahead and let this drain. Now while this oil is draining, it's also a good idea to just kind of take note of the color of the oil. Make sure it doesn't look too black, like it's getting a lot of carbon buildup in it. It's also a good idea to make sure you don't smell fuel. If you smell gas, it could be an issue with the carburetor or the fuel system in general. So yeah, you just kind of want to make sure that nothing seems odd or out of place. Also, if the oil is really milky, that can also be a sign that your generator is building moisture in the oil. It can happen from using it out in the really cold, extreme climates. So just a few things to kind of take note of. All right, so now that the oil is done draining, we can go ahead and put this cap back on and grab a rag and just kind of wipe down any oil on there. Clean that up a little bit. Then from there, you can just kind of tuck that back in the side panel of your generator here. The next step is to go ahead and put it back up on the workbench. Now from there, we're going to need to remove the oil dipstick and also the location where we'll fill the oil back into this machine. All right, we're down to, I'd say right around that 2/3 bottle left, 1/3 gone. I'm going to put just a little bit more in and we'll go ahead and check it. One thing with these Mobil 1 quarts is they have a very large mouth on them, and you can kind of lose track of how much oil you're really putting in because it comes out pretty fast. So we'll go ahead and grab another towel and we'll remove the funnel to check the oil level. Now this Dipstick does come with hash marks on it, but really what you want to do, it's kind of hard to tell the direct angle this goes in at. I usually just look in there with a light, and you want to fill the oil until it's at the bottom of the threads, where the threads actually stop. I find that to be the appropriate oil level. When you go to check it with this, you'll find that that's correct. It's just a little bit easier. So you're going to shine there with a light, and I can tell that I can use a little bit more oil, so we'll go ahead and add a little more. And I'll show you guys that once we get it topped off right where you want it. And I'll show you on the bottle here exactly how much oil I end up putting in this. That way you know exactly what it will take when you go to do this for yourself. So now we want to add it real slow so we don't overfill it. On these, you can't really overfill to cause engine damage. It'll just pour everywhere and make a big mess inside your nice cowl here. So again, we'll go ahead and look in there with a light. And that looks to be about perfect. So now we'll go ahead and check it with the dipstick. Go ahead and we'll thread that guy in. And if you see here, we're about 3/4 of the way up, so I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more to it. Again, we don't want to do too much and make a mess. This is the part where you can add too much too fast and really make a mess. So, like that, if you're not paying attention. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll check it again. And you can see there, we're right up to the top of the dipstick right there. So that's perfect. Go ahead and reinstall our access panel. Again, remembering that it's a bit backwards from what you might think. It's actually going to be counterclockwise now to relatch that latch. So from here, what we're going to do is go ahead and we'll clean our spark arrestor. So let's go ahead and spin the generator around and I'll show you how to do that. All right, so this is where the exhaust comes out of this generator. You obviously want to make sure that this isn't hot when you go to remove it. This generator hasn't been running for a little while now, so it's cool to the touch. This is where you're going to want to use your 8mm nut driver. So we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 bolts, and in here is your spark arrestor. We'll go ahead and we'll set them off to the side. Now you want to make sure when you remove this, you don't drop this guy down inside there, because then you'll get to pull a bunch of panels off and go fishing. So there's 2 pieces, or 3 pieces rather, to this spark arrestor. You've got the outside cover plate that holds the spark arrestor in. You've got this screen here, and then you've got this almost a funnel shaped creature here. What you're going to want to do with this is go ahead, and what I do is I spray it out with the brake cleaner, your brake cleaner, and then blow it out with compressed air. So we'll go ahead and do that. You'll see all the black junk come out of here, and I'm spraying this down into my drain pan. I just use to change oil. We'll set that guy off to the side. Then we'll do the same thing with this funnel shaped deal here. Go ahead and rinse it out. This doesn't have to be perfect. You're just trying to remove any large pieces of debris. And we'll take our compressed air, dry it. You're going to want to dry this off real good. So there's that piece clean. And there's that piece. Again, you don't have to have it perfect. I like to hold it up to the light and make sure you can easily see through it. If these get plugged, you'll notice your generator can start surging and running real rough. So from there, we just go ahead and reinstall. So this piece goes back in this direction, kind of the cone shaped, or the end of the funnel facing in. Then I like to rest this back into here. and kind of hold it over the outside like that. And then it's just a matter of reinstalling our 2 bolts. You don't want to get crazy tight with these with heat. They'll kind of want to lock in there, so just snug them down. And again, the main thing you're looking for is no large pieces of debris. Sometimes a flake of carbon can come off from inside the muffler and get stuck in there. That's the main thing you're looking for, but it's a good idea just to clean it out like that. So from here, we'll go around and we'll take care of the air filter. All right, now the air filter for this machine is located on the opposite side panel that the oil fill cover is located on. And to access this, there are 2 8mm head or Phillips bolts up in each corner, and then there's a couple of rubber grommets that hold it in the center. So the first thing you're going to want to do again is take your 8mm nut driver and go ahead and remove these 2 screws. No, they don't come all the way out. They have a detent, so they stay in, but you'll notice when they're loosened all the way out. So go ahead and do that on both sides. And then you can just kind of lift up this rubber deal for the gas cap and pull it off. Then you want to be careful not to just pull on the top. I like to pull on the sides and kind of help these rubber grommets. There's a peg and a rubber grommet located on each side. You want to make sure you don't pull too hard and break those. So we'll go ahead and set this cover off to the side. Now inside this side of the panel in the engine, you'll notice this is where your spark plug is located. We're not going to do anything with that today. This engine only has 147 hours on it. This is the second service oil change I've done. I did the first one at around 30 hours, or 40 hours I should say. So it's got about another 100 on it now. And then we're going to want to do the air filter. So for that, there's a tab on the top. You just kind of push in and it'll rock out. And then the bottom just kind of pops right out. Now I actually have my air filter removed. The reason I did that is these machines run a lot better and you don't have freeze up issues if you don't run the air filter in the winter. This machine has been used solely for ice fishing since we purchased it late this fall. So it's been all winter running so far, but now I'm getting it prepped for spring storm season and camping season. So we're gonna go ahead and install this. Now, if your air filter was very dirty, if it's got holes in it, you're gonna wanna just replace it. Go ahead and order a new one. If it's just dirty, what I recommend doing with a foam style air filter like this is you can actually take it to your kitchen sink with a little bit of Dawn dish soap and rub it in real good with warm water and just rinse it out until it runs clean. And then let it sit out, let a fan blow on it or whatever until it's perfectly dry. You don't wanna install it if it has any moisture, but that's the best way to clean this. So to reinstall, you just simply tuck it inside the air box here. To reinstall, it's got 2 tabs, one on the bottom and one on the top. This bottom one just locks into place and the top one clips in. So we'll go ahead and get that. Now this bottom one can be a little bit tricky to get started, but it just clips in like that. And the top does the same, just clips in and it's in there real nice and tight again. From there, you're pretty much done. There's 2 hoses. There's a line here and a line here. You're gonna wanna go ahead and just simply clip into place. This is also a good time to look and make sure you don't have any fuel leaks or anything like that going on. All right, so once your air filter is back in, you check for fuel leaks, you're ready to go ahead and reinstall the side cover. There's a couple tabs that'll simply lock into the bottom here. It'll pivot up and simply go into place. And then these top bolts can be a little tricky to get started for some reason. They kind of almost angle in an upward direction, which is a little different from what you might think. So go ahead and tighten them down. They don't have to be super tight, just basically until they stop, just snug. All right, guys, well, I hope you found this video useful. Now you can do the service on your Predator 3500 watt generator. Make sure it's all serviced up and ready to rock and roll again. If you wouldn't mind dropping a comment, give this video a like, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm posting a lot of different maintenance items like this to help save you guys some money. Until next time, you guys, have a good one.